Hello everybody. This is actually my face on camera for once, I must admit. New way of doing it. I thought it'd be good if you actually saw me for a change. But anyway, I'm going to discuss obviously the opens last night. We got the big finals of the Easter Bunny on this coming Friday. First of all, the one big thing from last night, and I don't get how it happened, but how did young Sid go off at 5-4? It beggars belief. Young Sid, he got to the final of the Scottish Derby last year. I know he's had a very bad injury. I believe it was a hock injury. I'm not 100% there. But he actually opened up 6-4. It stayed there for a long time. I was quite worried actually. I thought that people would have absolutely bundled in at that price. And he still only went up 5-4. I mean, that's hardly really a price move for that sort of race. Mirage Duke was his market rival at 6-4. But I mean, there's no comparison between the two. I'm sorry, but Young Sid is absolutely miles better, and he proved it. I mean, 29.66 on plus 15 going last night. It was a remarkable run. It looked like it shook the clock. Even in running, we were sort of looking at the race card in the office thinking, oh dear, what is the clock? Just to be prepared. But anyway, the other race, it was a good night for Kevin Hutton and the Hutton camp. They had two winners in the opens. Glenn Bainair sort of justified himself a bit. He's got potential. And he's just getting there now. He put in a good run. 480 though is the maximum he wants to go. It is almost too far for him, I will say. I think he'd be suited more to sort of 450 Oxford. I don't think 400 Romford is his trip. I think he wants a good four bends, but not a tough gallop four bends, if you know what I mean. So the likes of Oxford, a Henlow 460, those sort of trips I think will be right up his street. I think he could even be a competition dog over that sort of trip. He put in a good time last night. JT Ray ran a blind for him behind, I thought. But still cracking one. And of course, Ding Hero did tip Farlow O'Ryan. I thought he ran a very good race, I must admit, in third. Once Ding pings like that, it's game over, really. You can't argue with that performance. It was absolutely blinding. I still say he'll be better over six bends. I mean, I'm not the trainer, but if I'd possibly be looking at a 5.75 competition at Romford or something of that nature. I think he's a good dog to look out for in the future. There was some half decent performances last night. I must admit it was a bit of a not an easy card. I will say it was a good card there. As I said, good performances. I mean, Express Fantasy again for Kevin Hutton in the last. Finally, sort of. Proving her worth, really. The Irish performances, looking back on her card, were very impressive, and she needed to find a ping break, and she got it, and she showed that when she pings, she can do it the justice. I mean, what she calculated there, 29.06, she can go faster than that, I think. Sort of. Again, she looks at 28.90, 28.80 bitch on her day. And a big performance, I thought, was Sia in the third race last night. Well punted, we'll say. Bravo if you were on. 9-4 into 5-4. Again, I've been blogging about it. I've been going on about it for yonks now. These pups of Alan McDowell's and as well as the Swift J pups and the Quivers pups. And we've got a good batch of puppies, and they are doing really well. Again, he showed a good head. I keep going on about this, but he's got a good brain. He went into the bend and there was a ball of dogs in front of him, so he sort of come back a little bit. He sort of, calmed down. I won't go into there yet. I'll sort of cruise around on the rail, and he did that very well, and he won comfortably, let's be honest. I mean, it 1 1/4. It was a very good 1 1/4. He'll come on from that, and I still think the best of the litter, is that to Seal. Again, that ran a blinder. I believe, was that last week now or Monday? It posted a 29.14 run. I mean, I think that pup is going places. And I hope they do. I hope that we see some of these pups. The thing is with puppies, you do often see them going up the grades and that sort of thing, and then they sort of hit a wall and that's it. I do hope that some of these pups do go on, and go further afield and even go open racing and pick up competitions. I think there's some of that potential. I'll say it now. I think Gemstone Jack is going to be a marathon dog. I really do. Certainly a very long six bend dog. He will be sort of regency next year, I'd have thought. I'll put the neck on the line and say it now. I do think he's that potential. And to be honest, to Seal, I think he could go places, over sort of the 5-1-5 strip. I don't think he's quite the out and out stayer. I think he could pick a stair trip up quite easily, but it's just his racing mind. It's sort of like I don't make. I'm not going to make a comparison, but sort of Westmead Hawk like. You can see he's got potential over the 6 bend, but the maximum you want to go is 6:31 more. That sort of dog, you know. And again, I mean, I don't want to put pressure on pups because they're only young, but there is masses of potential there, and you know, fingers crossed to everybody involved. There's, you know, no injuries and that sort of thing. And the other thing to note was Cara Erica, very good winner of the owner's bonus last night. Again, like well fancied. I believe it went 6-4 to evens and out to 5-4 again. But again, incredible run. It's I must admit it was a very good run. Obviously for an A7 doing that sort of time, won't be an A7 again, I shouldn't think. But there we go. But overall, a very good night's racing, and well done to all the winners on the night. So we move on to Friday then. It's the finals of the Easter Bunny Bags series. Again, very good, very competitive races this. I've got a couple of winners in mind. I have been looking at the car. Believe it or not, I've done some preparation for this. I do think Many Moons Ago is a very good bet for Matt Dartnell in the sprint. One thing I will say about sprints, just quickly, this is a very minor word. A sprinter running out of trap 1, I've never been a fan of. For some reason, and it probably doesn't correlate to everything, if you look through the trap 1s in sprints, a lot of them miss their break. I mean, I've got a theory behind this. It's to do with the location of the switch. I believe. I won't go into detail on that now. It's not, you know, this isn't about sprinting, but I'm hesitant to sort of side with trap 1s. I must admit. I mean, Many Moons Ago last week, I sided with it because it's the best sprinter in the race, but even then, completely flopped out. There's something about trap 1 in a sprint that I'm not a fan of. So seeing Many Moons Ago in trap 2 possibly might be a change of fortune. I think potentially over the sprint he's going to be very good. He needs to start trapping a bit better though. I see he's got a couple of a slow away comment at Hove, which is never a good thing. And actually the sprint time at Hove, I'll be perfectly honest, is very pants. But I mean 16:62 is definitely reputable, you know, for a sprint. I remember when Opens used to be won in that by Heather Dimmock's old Lady Wild Trick. But there we go. Turnpike Indy, I think will progress to be a natural sprinter in her career. I think she could make an open race sprint, to tell you the truth. Again, it's just a matter of trapping in these sprints. It really is. And one that did trap very well was Vancouver Petra for Ray Evans in trap 6. She only trolled on for this competition 6 days before it actually started, and posted a very good 16:49. The known fact about the sprints, let's be honest, is you sort of take the times. The times are all over the shop. You know, I'll be honest about it. They are a bit all over the place sometimes, but she's absolutely pinged out, and then 16:68. It actually looked quicker, I must admit, when I was watching the DVD back. And again, got potential. She's the only wide seed. There's 4. I don't know why Brooke M. Empty seed in rails, because that's just got middle comments all the way through it. But nevertheless, I think Many Moons Ago will win this. But I think keep an eye on trap 6. You know, could be I'm thinking she'll be sort of the same price, about 7-2, 3-1. So keep an eye on. But Many Moons Ago for me to win for Matty Dartnell. And we go on to the 480, and it's not Matty Dartnell day, but I must admit I've tipped clean as Louise. She's just coming right after season, and she's a lot better than I don't know how to say it. She's a lot better than these, I think. And she posted a 28.70. That was back in November, but she ran really well for us through the Intertrack competition. You know, by a mile the best 480. Bitch, I thought at Swindon. She's come back. She's not come back particularly well. She's lost a bit of early, but she got crowded all over the place really. In the Quivers Jumeirah race, and I think there's a lot more to come from her. I really do. And again, the season timing's right, and trap 2 I think is her ground. I will be honest. I think with colour card in 1, who has got a bundle of early, if she can tuck in behind her, I think it's going to be plain sailing. A big runner for me will be Matty's Mate in 3. I must admit this puppy has actually slipped under my radar. Didn't realise it was a pup. Cracking times, 29.01 for a baby. You know, in the heat, we're beating Abel Mohammed. and Ahmed Mohammed is known as a strong finisher. John Peterson's dog, you've got to keep an eye on, I think, in terms of future open racing, definitely. Very good pup, very progressive. I don't like to, I've said it, about the puppies before, I don't like to put too much pressure on them, bigging them up to, whatever. It's not worth, especially in a final like this when you've got experienced dogs in there and that sort of thing. I mean, to see 3 pups in the final, it just shows the strength of Swindon's pups. Again, I'm bleating on about it, but there we go. Forrest Ronaldo, I think, sort of out of depth in here, really. It's, again, he's progressing well, but I think this has come a few races too soon for him. I do say, though, this dog will like, and I said to Paul Foster, actually, I think he'll like sort of a Peterborough sort of distance. I think it'd be a good Peterborough Puppy Derby dog if they choose to go down that route. Quivers Jamira, again, I must say, very lucky win, but 6-1, that was very nice, and again, progressive pup for Jim Little. Trap 5 won't be ideal for him, I don't think. I don't want to see him out that far, but again, it's just on the draw, isn't it? Really, if you're going to argue about the draw, you've got to think maybe Ahmed Mohammed's got the best of it, being the only wide seed for Chris Stringer. Very regular 29, 10, 29 dead times. Very, very good, I must admit. He's probably the best drawn dog in the race, but it's a matter of whether he can get round, really. But nevertheless, Clean as Louise is my tip in this one. Should be a respectable price as well, I think. Sort of, I reckon you get about 5 to 2, 3 to 1 about her. Nice little double if you want to do a Matty Dartnell double. And we move on then. It's the Stayers. Is the last race. It's on at race 10 for some reason. I'll give you the times for these. That was another thing I was going to say. The times of these heats, these finals even. The sprint and the 480 are one after each other. The sprint's on at 3:48. That's race 6, and the 480 is on at 16:08, and that's race 7. But the Stayers, for some reason, is right the way at race number 10. There you go. That's just how it goes. It's a tough one, this. I'm still going to probably side. I've been umming and ahhing about it all day, I will be honest. It's between Commander Tom and Nels Touch for me. The only reason is Lemon Angel. She put in a very good performance, don't get me wrong, in the heat, but she usually does this and then don't do it again, for a few months or so. It's just how she runs, I think. And I don't think she's got the run in her again. I think she's got a lot of pace around her, in terms of 2 and 3. I don't think this is hers to win. However, she'll be the sort of dog that will be about second favourite in this race, I think, the way I've priced it up. Do you know the boys? I know it was well gambled, actually. Opened up at 7 to 1, I think, on the day. And return 4s was mightily impressive, and could do well in here. I must admit, I don't really like seeing pups going over the long distance. It's just a bugbear of mine. I'm not really a fan of the babies going over at that trip, but up to Jim, and he's done the right thing there. In 42.21, very good time. I still think Commander Tom's the one to beat. When this come over from Ireland, I thought that this is his future over 6. Even the owner will tell you this dog's a 6 bend dog, and he proved it in the trial. He didn't, I didn't think I won't say put in the effort. I think that maybe the trial to the race might have been a bit too quick for him, and this may be as well. But I just think, in terms of the actual card and his record, he is the best dog in this race. And as long as you go into a race approaching it from a betting point of view, you're backing the best dog in the race. I think this is it, and I think he can win. I think he's my winner there. So Commander Tom is my winner in that race. So well, there we go. That's my audio blog for this time. Sorry you had to see my mug on camera. I'll try not to do it again if you don't want it. That is. But you can contact us anyway on swindongreyhound@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter, it's @SwindonRacing, or you can follow us on Facebook. Thank you very much for watching. Cheers and happy punting.